Hi guys, today is Q&A time and I truly love this kind of chatty videos, not only to do but actually to watch, because I find that these kind of videos are more personal, because when you do unboxing or even say review of some handbags, you're trying to deliver mostly the facts or just to show actual event like unboxing of the handbag. But when it comes to this kind of Q&A and chatty, it's very personal in my humble opinion, and I truly love it. First, I want to say thank you so very much who actually participated in this and asked me a question, because I actually planned to do this a couple of months ago and I had few questions, but I didn't come around to do it, and sorry about that. So first I'm gonna answer those very first questions that I received a while ago, and then I'm gonna answer the questions that I got on Instagram and a couple of questions that I got on my community page on the YouTube. So let's start from the very first one. The first question from Thunder LV. Don't you think that LV and Hermes non-quota bags don't get much return versus retail price from those reseller sites? Perfect example of those 3 handbags that I lost myself, and this is under the video when I talk about the handbags I sold and why, and obviously I lost money on the resale of the handbags. So first, I'm going to talk about LV. In 99% of the cases, LV leather handbags don't get much of return on, resale market. And when I buy any Louis Vuitton in leather, I know for fact if I'm going to need to liquidate that handbag after the fact, most likely I will lose the money. However, some of the collections that get extremely popular, and specifically in canvas mostly, you can actually make money on the resale of those handbags. And I will give you an example that happened to me personally. I had the Louis Vuitton Never Full Jungle collection, and I actually made slightly over $1,000 on that handbag, and I sold it to Fashion File, and then Fashion File most likely made it another $1,500 or something on top of my profit. And then once again I purchased directly from Fashion File pre-loved multicolor clutch, and I sold it back to Fashion File, and I still made it about 150, slightly more dollars. So it's not always loss, when it comes to Louis Vuitton handbags. Sometimes you can actually make quite a bit of nice money. When it comes to Hermes non-quota bags, it's once again depends on the style. Lately, for example, Mini Lindy, which is non-quota handbag, getting extremely popular. And for example, on the Canadian website, in the basic leather, which is Clemence leather, it's actually $7,050, but on the resale, and example, it's Luxe de Jour, it's Canadian resale website, and it sells for 12,000 Canadian, so it's 5,000 more on the resale market. But does it actually sold, does it actually sell? Not quite, because that handbag is already sitting there for several months, and also there is variety of this handbag on Fashion File, etc. Of course it sells by little, but majority of the handbags from Hermes, if it's non-quota bag, they don't really hold their value, unfortunately, on the resale market. So therefore I always say these kind of expensive brands as the Chanel or Hermes, you should be more careful when you're buying, because let's say if you're not going to keep a handbag, you truly can lose lots of money Oh my gosh. That answer is a handful. I hope that I answer your questions. Yes, be very, very careful. So this is the first one from the old questions. The other questions is from Amelia Kavita. It's hi, how were you invited for the sale? And she talked about Hermes Sale. Do you know if there is any sale this year? Is it by invitation only, or is it open to public? So this year there was no sale from Hermes, because I was keep asking my SA, but she said no sale. They had it in Europe, and actually a fantastic sale, and they had it sale in New York, but nothing to my knowledge happened in Canada. Usually if you're existing client of Hermes and they have a profile on you in your specific area, and if the sale happening in your specific area, you get an invitation. You get an invitation, and I believe the first day it was by those invitation only, but then they also a post on some kind of community post in the city if the sale, because usually sale doesn't happen in the boutique, it's held somewhere outside of the boutique in some public areas, major halls, etc. So they also post on the community of the cities that sales is happening, and they invite a public. You don't have to have actual invitation coupon. You can simply print you know, the printouts that sale happening and come over there. At least for myself, you know, they didn't ask me anything. You just stand in line, and you know, if you could get something on sale at good price or what you're looking for. And when I was at sale, it was everything 50% off, ready to wear, shoes, accessories, scarves, etc., belts, such things. Obviously there is no handbags or anything like that, no SLGs in the sense of wallets. There was a belts, but no SLGs. At least I didn't see any SLGs. So as I said, if you're existing client, you're mostly gonna receive an invitation, or just check on them. Even if you Google it, you know, sale in my neighborhood, etc., you will see some posts if it's available. And or once again, follow my channel and I will post it on my community post if the sale is coming. The next question I have from Love CC Cream, and this is in regards to my Valextra handbag. How is the quality of Valextra eyesight compared to Chanel Coco handle? Does Chanel still feels more luxurious? That's actually a good question. So I actually lucky enough to have both handbags in my collection. I will show it to you. I have my Valextra eyesight, and it's in kind of almost aquamarine, really bright blue, and I have my Coco handle, and it's in iridescent blue with multicolor hardware, what I call Elsa. And first and most, let's talk about Valextra. Let me remove this. And Valextra quality. Guys, if you're thinking of Valextra, but because Valextra, it's not, let's say, extremely popular like LV, like Chanel, or even as Gucci, or I don't know, YSL, Fendi, obviously Hermes. It's an Italian brand, and they also make their handbags by individual artisan by hands, pretty much the same as Hermes. And on each handbag there is a stamp which is represent that specific artisan, and the quality, I mean, if you look inside, even the stitching and everything, it's absolute perfection. And I have it in a pebbled leather. They have unique style of the lock. You kind of have to put it through this path, and it kind of slides. The the actual also hooks for the strap, also unique to their brand only. Everything, the stitching is absolute perfection. I actually have Hermes Twilly also on top. Like when I'm looking at the glazing and the stitching and everything, like there is no any misplaced stitching or anything like that. I mean, I love my Chanel. Obviously it's you know, it's the brand that most recognized, but I have to tell you guys, when it comes to lately quality of Chanel and stitching, the Coco handle is actually quite nice quality, and thanks God they increased the price, but right now they're also doing with leather interior, so I got this with leather interior. They also changed the stitching on the back, because before this actual stitch was only in a chevron pattern, but right now they are doing in quilting pattern, and I really like that. If I'm looking even at the stitching inside, mine is actually in very good condition, so there is nothing negative to say. But still, you know, in the corners, like, you know, sometimes you see a slight gathering. When you look at the Valextra and the corners, it's like, you know, almost like ironed inside. It's absolute perfection. I actually, when I got my Valextra, I knew that this is kind of handbag I almost have to pretty much keep it forever, or if I decided to sell, I know that I'm gonna lose a lot on this handbag because it's not recognized brand very well in North America. So therefore, when I was purchasing this handbag, I took my time to think about it, to do research, but I'm really glad that I did, especially right now during the COVID time. Why? Because this handbag doesn't have much logo, and if I have to go, especially in summertime, it's so much fun. If I have to go somewhere that I want people not stare at me or think that I'm wearing something expensive, this is a perfect handbag because it's absolutely elegant, ladylike, but it looks also perfect with denim, and it's not something that I worry that I'm gonna attract attention, especially during the COVID time. Really love this bag. Highly recommend if you think about Valextra. There is zero regrets when it comes to Valextra. Absolutely love it. Next questions is from Instagram, and I have two questions, which is pretty much the same question. Next handbag, or what is your next handbag? And I got this question from Bag de Jour and Zoe68. If it would be my choice and if I can get it, my next handbag will be Kelly 25 in Rouge H or Rouge H or Rouge Hermes. What they said, it's kind of burgundy, dark burgundy color from Hermes. That would be my next handbag if I could get. Something that I'm eyeing and it's more accessible for me to get. I cannot believe in even I'm saying this, but I am considering, despite all these crazy prices from Chanel, I'm considering maybe to add small classic flap in beige Claire. It's crazy price right now. I cannot believe it that I didn't buy it before, but it's such a classic combo. I'm considering maybe adding this one. And then once again, Coco handle, if I could get in black with burgundy handle, that could be another, once again, eyeing of the handbag. Then lately also I noticed Louis Vuitton, there looks like they're coming with a new collection of damier azur print without vachetta. There's just a couple of pictures on OxanaLV post, and I'm gonna eye that collection. Let's see. So, but if it would be my choice and I can get it, it will be Hermes Kelly 25 Rouge H or Rouge H. Okay, so the next question is from Teddy is my baby, and she said, what is your favorite dish? What is your favorite food? Okay, it will be most likely a surprise to many of you, keeping in mind that I have a Russian background. My actually favorite dish, and I like to eat as a fun food, it's sushi. I really love sushi. I love Japanese food in general, or I would say like, you know, Asian food. I love Thai food. So something like, you know, Japanese Thai inspired food, I welcome anytime. I welcome anytime. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I mean, obviously I love nice grilled salmon, grilled steak, etc. But Japanese food is my fun food. It's my fun food for sure. The next question is from Miss Angel Ahwang. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Would you recommend vintage Hermes bags, 20 plus years old, in good condition? Yes, I will highly recommend. Once again, one of my wish list handbag, it's actually to get handbag from year 2004. It's because at that year it was my daughter. My daughter was born in year 2004, and I'm hoping to add handbag from that year to my collection. If it's in a great condition, if you can 100% guarantee, or you 100% know that it's a reliable source and it's not a fake, 100%. Because I actually contacted my SA and I asked her, if I'm gonna get a vintage handbag, what is the kind of rules of Hermes? Can they do the spa? Because most likely that kind of handbag at that age will require some kind of spa services. And she says yes, they will take the handbag for the services. However, if at the headquarters, obviously they have to send it to France, they will find that it's a fake handbag, they're not gonna return it to you. They're gonna destroy the handbag, and you're gonna lose the handbag, and obviously you're gonna lose the money. So she said, be very careful from where you're buying those handbags, because it could be like, you know, costly mistake. But I would definitely recommend to get some vintage handbag if you could get your hands on some really high quality vintage handbag, and especially at the good price. So the next question is from K Gossip Girls. Didn't know you were a real estate broker. Any advice on how to invest in real estate? I mean, thank you. Yes, I'm a real estate broker. I'm in real estate for many years. I mostly represent a builder, a brand new construction, and for many years I work mostly in a brand new construction and sell those kind of houses, but occasionally I do resale as well. And if you ask me, you know, any recommendation for real estate investment, I mean, just one recommendation: just invest. Because I came to Canada almost 22 years ago, and after 1 year, actually 1.5, or close to 2 years, I already purchased my first house in Canada. And at that time, you know, you could buy, pretty much like 20 years ago, you could buy a detached house at $350,000 in Toronto, outskirt of Toronto, not exactly the core downtown, but outskirt of Toronto, and it was like crazy price. Right now, if you want a detached house, you have to spend at least 1.5 mils. And you know, at that time it was crazy price, and people saying, oh my gosh, crazy price, who gonna pay this kind of money? And now it's 1.5, 2 mils, 3 mils, 5 mils, you name it. It's not even on the thousands any longer, it's on millions. So therefore, yes, it's always good investment in real estate. But my rule of investment is, if you could hold to that investment, ideally up to 10 years, or at least 5, let's say 5 to 10 years, because quite often, especially being in the construction, you know, sale of the houses, I mean brand new construction houses for sale, Often people are trying to get as an investment, but then when the time comes and you realize that you cannot purchase the house, or you cannot hold two houses, or you cannot actually close a specific house on specific date and time, it could be once again very costly mistake. Because if you plan to buy something, my only recommendation, if I can give you, just make sure that you can actually close the transaction and make sure that you can keep that house for at least close to 5 years. Because if you just close the transaction, it could happen that, you know, market shoots up and in 6 months or 18 months you can get almost double return, but it's not often, it's not a norm, it's an exception, I would say. But normally you should keep that property at least for at least 5 years to see true appreciations of your investment. But at the end of the day, if you have a money and you're considering real estate, always buy real estate. Okay, so that was the questions from the Instagram, and I have a couple of questions from on my community post from the YouTube. So the first question from Nadine Cabedo: how many more quota bags do you plan to get on your journey, and what specs? I find it's hard finding items I like to continue a journey for each bag to make spend. Is it hard for you also? Thanks. So obviously Hermes handbags are very expensive handbags, especially quota bags, because any quota bag, it's in Canadian dollars, it's 11,000-12,000 just before taxes, and in Toronto we have 13% taxes, so crazy price, really crazy price. So therefore I would say I love to get all possible colors and sizes, but I have to be realistic because you know, I don't have unlimited funds in my life. But as I said, I really want to get Kelly 25. I hope to get also Constance 18. In many countries it's not a quota bag, but unfortunately in Toronto and Canada it's actually a quota bag, so that is another quota bags that I'm planning to get. It would be really nice to get also mini Kelly as an evening handbag, and that handbag I preferably want to get in ostrich skin, because guys, I love ostrich skin. So this is already 3 you can see that I'm hoping to get, but we shall see. And then obviously in the future we will see what's gonna happen. When it comes to spending to get you know, to buy something to actually get your quota bag, I don't find hard to spend. I find, you know, problem only to have the money to spend, because I love, but I mean, once again, maybe it's me because of my age, of my maturity. I find many of their clothing is actually suits me quite well, and they kind of also in blackish brownish theme, and no problem. Like my husband, I can buy t-shirts, etc. I love their shoes actually, and I find them very comfortable. I'm a little bit more cautious on the gold because I love some of their golds, but once again they're really expensive. So I love some of the tablewares. I wish if I could buy, like, you know, all the dishes, etc. But once again, it's about the price. I don't find difficult to find what I want to buy. I find it's difficult because it's expensive, you know. It's, in my humble opinion, sometimes it's overpriced for the actual product. So I mean, like, you know, Hermes is overpriced, but I don't have, you know, difficulty of spending on something. As I said, I have just difficulty of finding extra money of spending on that stuff. And thank you very much for your questions. And I mean, like, just think of the items that you truly gonna use and you truly love to use. Don't buy something that you think, oh my gosh, I just gonna buy it, and in case if it didn't work out for me, I gonna sell. Because everything else except for Birkin, Kelly, and maybe Constance and some other little cute handbags, mostly everything doesn't hold value, and it's really costly mistakes to do. So try to buy something that you truly like. Look at the category of the even ready to wear for your husband, like, you know, some t-shirts, polo t-shirts, etc., belts for your husband, shoes for your husband, because once again, it doesn't have to be specifically just for yourself. If you think that you already got everything for yourself, but you still need to spend. I hope that that makes sense, and thank you very much once again for your question. And the last question, it's really handful question. I really appreciate this question. It's very, very tough. It's from James, it's from Jamil Sydney. If you could only have 5 luxury bags to keep for the rest of your life, which bags would you choose? It's really tough question. It's very, very tough question. And I mean, like, I don't know for the rest of my life, but as per today, I prepare already 5 bags to show you, and it's very easy for me choice. As per today, I only struggle with one, but the first one, it's obviously my Chanel Classic. It's Chanel Classic medium large, we would say medium. So that's the first one. The next one is once again, as per today, it's my Hermes Kelly 28 black Salier with gold hardware. That would be my next one. The next one, it will be my Chanel mini top handle caviar with the gold hardware. So far it's all gold hardware. Number 4, I think this one should be number 1, but I still want to give my priority to my Chanel Classic because I purchased it's years ago. So my next handbag, it's my Birkin 30 in exotic. It's an ostrich and alligator, shiny alligator, and it's an blue indigo, ostrich, blue indigo, and black alligator. So that's the next one. So we have 4 handbags right now, and with the last one I kind of struggle because this one I know for sure, and you can see they're all black. This is actually dark blue, but it's almost looking like dark blue with black. And I decided, as per today, I would kind of struggle between Valencia, because obviously I love this one, and I know even if I will try to sell, it's not gonna capture any money. But just keeping in line with the classic fashion houses, I would say, because I have Chanel, I have Hermes, I want to give my last spot to my Louis Vuitton twist handbag, and I have it in kind of I wouldn't say limited edition, but you know, when you have top chain handles, and this is actually also Hermes Twilly I put, which is kind of make it more fun. And this strap is fully detachable, and it can be either shoulders or crossbody, and it's in kind of beige caramel with black, so it pretty much goes with everything. And I decided to give this spot to Louis Vuitton because this is an absolute classic from Louis Vuitton right now, and I love this handbag. I use it also so very much. I love unique shape of this handbag, but also the reason why I think I will keep it forever, unless something really crazy gonna happen, because on the resale market it doesn't really hold value. It's very expensive handbag, so therefore if I need to get it back, once again, it doesn't make sense to sell and buy unless if I wanna buy from the reseller again. So this will be my number 5. So thank you very much guys for all your questions. I really appreciate it. So put your comments below if you enjoy this kind of Q&A, because it's not my first one already Q&A, but I really love this type of video, kind of chatty communication video, and I hope to continue with my Q&As. Thank you very much again, and I will see you on my next one. Bye bye.